Hello and welcome to my 30-day yoga challenge. This is day 24. Today's class is full body yoga, so we're working on the whole body. So take a moment when you're ready and find a comfortable position. You can either sit on some blocks or a pillow or on the floor. The spine nice and tall, and gently relaxing the shoulders down the back and gently close your eyes. Just take a moment just to observe how you're feeling today. Observing how is the physical body, how is the breath, and how is the mind. And then take a few slow, deep breaths in your own time, breathing in and out through the nose, and tell yourself mentally to completely relax. Now during the class today, really focus on your breath and try and slow down both the inhale and the exhale in each of the yoga poses, and listen to your own body and only work with your limitations. We'll gently open the eyes when you're ready, and we'll tilt the head towards the left, taking hold of the side of the head with the left hand to encourage a very gentle stretch along the right side of the neck, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. On your next breath in, now very gently bring your head back into the center, and as you exhale, take it over to the right, and using your right hand very gently, just hold on to the side of the head, encouraging a deep stretch along the left side of the neck, encouraging the left shoulder down. We'll inhale, bring the head into the center, and as you exhale now, tucking under the chin, very gently stretching the back of the neck. And then we'll turn the head very subtly to the left, keeping the chin tucked under, changing the stretch very slightly. Inhale back into the center, and exhale now, take it back over to the right, but keeping the chin tucked under. Now we'll inhale, come into the center, and bring your head into its normal position, and we'll roll the shoulders a few times, a few shoulder circles, just to relax the shoulders, lifting them up, back and down. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And now we'll gently support the outside of the knees, draw the legs in. We'll turn to the side and come and lay completely on your back. We'll draw the knees into the chest, give them a good hug, and very gently rock from side to side, massaging your back, massaging the hips, and stimulating the digestive organs. And we'll slide one hand onto each knee when you're ready and rotate the knees in nice big circles, so making the circles as large or as small as feels comfortable. And breathing in and out through your nose. And then we'll change direction. Nice slow breathing. And then we'll draw the knees into the chest, give them one more squeeze, and then very gently, when you're ready, we'll start to lower the arms out in line with the shoulders and lower the legs over towards the left to come into a spinal twist. And gently turn your head towards the right, looking towards the right hand. So pausing here, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. You can use your left hand just to rest on the thighs, the calves, to encourage a deeper stretch only if it feels comfortable. So remember to always listen to your own body and keep focusing on the breath. So on your next breath in, we'll bring the head back into the center very gently, draw the legs back into the center, and then as you exhale, take the legs all the way over to the right, and now looking towards the right left hand, and using your right hand either on your thighs or your calves. So just observe where you feel the stretch. Maybe feel it on the side of the torso, maybe around the hip, maybe even across the abdomen or across the chest. Keep slowing down the breath. Nice, slow, gentle breaths in and out through the nose. Now first we'll inhale, bring our head into the center, then the knees back into the center, and we'll rock a few more times from side to side, gently relaxing the back into the floor. Then gently lower the legs down, and we'll turn completely onto your left hand side. So stretching the left hand up overhead, you can either bend the arm and use it as a pillow or having it up overhead, and then stretching your right arm up. So we really want to open and lengthen the side of the torso. If you're struggling with your balance, you can bend the leg closest to the ground, which is my left leg. It might be your right if you're facing me. And pausing, so stretching the arms up overhead and really trying to lengthen the whole of the right side of the torso, Gently push into the ground, come onto the abdomen and shuffle over to the sides. Check you've got enough room, stretching the right hand in line with the shoulders, palm facing down. So only going as deep as feels comfortable. Pushing the left hand into the ground, you can lift up very slightly to feel a stretch around the shoulder. If you feel you have the space, we can work towards lifting the torso and the hips off of the mat. So listen to your own flexibility here and only go as deep as feels comfortable. Pause for a moment and take a few slow breaths. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Observe where you feel the stretch. Then very gently come back onto the abdomen. Or line up the right arm up overhead, or you can bend it and use it as a pillow. Stretch the left hand up overhead and stretch and straighten the left leg. If you'd like to help with your balance, we can bend the right leg, which is the leg closest to the ground, or you can have it straight. And to go with a deeper stretch, you can hold the wrist and stretch the arm back up overhead. So really lengthen now the left side of the body. Very slowly come out of the pose, come back onto the abdomen, shuffle now over to the side, and we'll stretch around the left shoulder. So the arm roughly in line with the shoulder, pushing the right palm into the ground, very subtly come up. Observe how it feels before you go deeper. Check that it feels comfortable, and when you're ready, only if it comes deeper, lifting the abdomen off of the mat. So you may notice one side has more mobility than the other. So without criticizing your body, just observing, very gently come out of the posture, come into the center of your mat, hands either side of the chest, and on your next breath in, checking that your elbows are in, we'll gently lift the chest and chin off of the mat, and exhale gently lower. Inhale again, very gently lift the chest and chin, looking up, and exhale very gently lower. Come in one final time, inhale gently lifting up, a little bit higher only if it feels comfortable, and exhale gently lower. Now to come into a variation of bow pose. So depending on how your flexibility is, we'll bend your right leg. If you can take hold of your ankle, you can hold the ankle. If you can't take hold of the ankle, we can either use a strap or a belt, and we can gently slide the strap of the belt around the foot and hold the strap, just to very gently stretch the front of the thigh, resting the chin or the forehead on the mat. So if the more you practice this, your flexibility increases, you can hold the foot or hold the ankle and draw it towards the hip. So changing your head to rest on the chin or the forehead, just to vary the stretch in the back of your neck. Very gently release the strap if you're holding the strap. If you're holding the strap, we can bring the other foot into the strap and lower the right leg down. If you weren't having the strap, just lower one foot down and then bring the other foot up. So whichever feels comfortable. So checking that your head is in a comfortable position, and maybe also turn the head into one direction to rest the stretch in the back of the neck. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, always nice slow breathing. And then we'll turn the head to the other side, just to have balance in the neck. Then we very gently bring your head into the center, gently release the leg, and then we'll bring the arms to the side of the body. As you inhale, this time we'll lift the left leg up, and exhale gently lower. Inhale, gently lift the chest and chin, use the strength of the back to lift up, and exhale lower. Inhale, lifting the right leg up. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, lift the chest, chin, looking up. And exhale, gently lower. Bring the arms by the side of the body, tuck under the toes. We'll inhale, very gently push up onto the knees. Opening the knees to the edge of the mat. And very gently lowering down to a wide child's pose, either resting the chin or the forehead on the ground just for a moment. With the arms straight out in front of you. Going to inhale there when you're ready, gently lift the wrists off of the mat, but keeping the fingertips on the mat, and walk the hands over towards the right until you feel a stretch around your left shoulder and your left armpit, and then gently lower the hands and the forehead back on the ground, just pausing. keeping the contact with your hips and your heels if you can. Now as you inhale, gently bring your hands first into the center, realigning the spine, and then gently take them now over towards the left until you feel a stretch around the right shoulder or the right armpit. Pausing, nice slow breathing. And then on your next breath in, very slowly, we'll start to bring the hands, when you're ready, back into the center. Slide the hands in front of the knees, very gently push into the ground as you inhale, come up to sitting. Draw in the knees, and then we'll come back into our table pose. Spreading the fingers. So now as you inhale, we'll lower the abdomen, look up to where you can see. And exhale, draw the abdomen in and up around the upper back. Inhale again, lowering the abdomen, looking up. And exhale, very gently round. One more. Inhale, gently lower the abdomen, looking up. And exhale, very gently round. Well, inhale, now come into a neutral position to prepare for Anahata. And as you exhale, we'll walk the hands one space forward, keeping the hips above the knees, onto the forearms. Taking hold of the left elbow with the right hand, taking a breath in, and as you exhale, walk the elbows away, keeping them in line, and we'll very gently lower the chest towards the ground. So it doesn't have to touch, but we're very gently lowering in that direction until you feel a comfortable stretch. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose, observing where you feel the stretch. If you feel it across the chest, between the shoulder blades, around the shoulders. So it's very important to keep the elbows in line, to keep the stretch equal on each shoulder, and the hips directly above the knees if you can. One or two more breaths, nice slow breathing. On your next breath in, very slowly draw up the chest, bring the elbows back towards you. We'll come to rest in a normal child's pose, just resting the forehead towards the ground. Bring the arms this time by the side of the body and just rest the back in the opposite direction. So nice slow breathing. In and out just through the nose if you can, just resting, just observing how this pose has affected your back and affected your shoulders. Now we'll come to do the other side. So bring the hands in front of the knees. Inhale, come up to sitting. As you exhale, we'll come into table, lining the hips above the knees. We'll walk the hands one space forward, very gently lower onto the forearms. Now take the right elbow with the left hand. Take a breath in. As you exhale, walking the elbows away, keeping the elbows in line, and very gently lowering the chest towards the mat. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Observing any difference on this side compared to the other. Do each side feel the same? So really try and expand the lungs as much as feels comfortable in this pose. Encourage the body to soften and to relax. Encouraging a deeper stretch in the intercostal muscles between the ribs. Inhaling and exhaling just through the nose. The last one or two breaths, really try and slow down the breath and encourage the body to soften and to relax. To come out of this pose now, I'll inhale very slowly, start to lift the chest, slide the forearms back underneath the shoulders, and we'll come into cat-cow variations on the forearms. So take a breath in. As you exhale, draw the abdomen in and up and round, tucking under the chin, rounding the head, and then we'll inhale, lower the abdomen, looking up to wherever you can see. As you exhale, draw the abdomen in and up around the upper back, and inhale, lower the abdomen, looking up. Exhale, when you're ready, draw the abdomen in and up, rounding the upper back, tucking under the chin, and then we'll inhale, coming in to neutral position. Very gently make your way onto your hands, walk the hands one space forward, tuck under the toes, and draw your hips towards your heels and lift the knees off of the mat into a downward facing dog. So very gently walking out the legs, encouraging the heels towards the ground. So it isn't important that they touch, but we're very gently stretching in that direction. Very slowly bending one leg and the other. But while the other knee is bent, we're going to twist the abdomen towards the side of the body, so twisting away from your bent leg to encourage a gentle stretch along the back, the shoulders, around the hips and the back of the legs. So doing this a few times in each direction, bending and straightening the legs, encouraging a stretch in the hamstrings along the back of the calves. Really check that you're spreading your fingers. I will walk the hands towards the legs, coming into a standing forward fold, just hanging nice and heavy, just pausing for a moment. Maybe crossing the arms, having a subtle bend in the knees to release any stretch in the hamstrings, only if it feels more comfortable. And then we'll relax the arms. You can rest the arms down, so without any intention to go further, you can bend one leg and then the other. Keep breathing in and out through the nose, nice slow breaths. And now to come out of this pose, we'll inhale when you're ready, look up, nice flat back, and we'll exhale very gently. Heel toe the feet to the edge of the mat. We can sit on a block or on two blocks. We're going to come into wide squat. So take a breath in. As you exhale, very gently come down to sitting on the block, having the toes out, heels in. If your heels don't touch the floor, we can gently roll up a small towel to put underneath the heels or a pillow. So the elbows on the inside of the thighs, pushing the palms together, the spine nice and tall, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Gently opening the hips, stretching on the inside of the legs, nice slow breathing. Now to come into a strengthening version of this pose, you can either stay as you are, or when you're ready, you can inhale very subtly. We're going to lean forward and lift off of the blocks, strengthening the thighs, and then remove the blocks, support the weight of the body with the hands behind the body, gently lower down to a sitting position. Come into cobbler's pose, so bringing the soles of the feet together, keeping the knees bent out to the side. We'll interlace the fingers around the toes, so the spine nice and tall. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, very gently lowering from the abdomen as much as feels comfortable, lowering to wherever feels comfortable, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Until you feel a comfortable stretch. Pausing, looking towards the floor just to relax the back of the neck. And then to come out of this pose on your next breath in, tuck under the chin, round the back, slowly come up. Last thing to come back up is your head. Support the outside of the knees, draw the knees in. If you had turned to the side, we'll turn back to how we were, straightening the legs and walking out the legs. And then giving the legs a little wobble. Coming into a seated forward fold. If you prefer, we can bring a block underneath the knees, otherwise just doing it with the legs straight. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, and we'll exhale, come into a seated forward fold this time with the knees slightly bent, rounding the back, and just pause here. So observing where you feel this stretch. You feel the stretch along the back, around the hips, maybe in the hamstrings or somewhere else on the back of the legs. So really try and inhale and exhale nice and deeply, and try and expand the lungs in the back of the body, encouraging the muscles in the back to soften and to relax. Now on your next breath in, we'll very gently support the weight of the body with the hands pushing into the ground. Slowly come up to sitting. We'll remove the block, and we'll do the same stretch without the block, so walking out the legs. Check the knees are together, the ankles together. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, and we'll exhale very gently, stretching forward as you lower down. You can either hold the calves, you can hold the ankles, or you can hold the heels, whatever feels more comfortable. So taking a deep breath in, trying to lower from the abdomen, and as you exhale, very gently rounding the back. So observing now the difference with your knees slightly bent and your legs straight. Is there one that you prefer more than the other? So just one or two more breaths here. Just allow your head to relax and hang heavy. Now we'll Now slide the hands underneath you. Inhale, push the hands into the floor, slowly come up. Last thing to come up is your head. We'll very gently bend your right leg. Bring the sole of the foot on the floor to come into a spinal twist. So hugging in with the left hand, spine nice and tall. Right hand behind the back. We'll take a breath in. And as you exhale, very gently twisting over to around the right and looking behind you, or wherever feels comfortable with the neck and the body. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Now on your next breath in, when you're ready, very slowly, we'll come back round into the center. We'll uncross the leg, straighten that leg as we bend the left leg, bringing the sole of the foot onto the ground, sitting up nice and tall. Hug with the right hand, left hand now behind the back. Inhale, and on your exhale, very gently twisting to wherever feels comfortable. So nice, slow breathing. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, just observing any difference in the spinal twist from this side compared to the other. So never to criticize, just to keep drawing your attention back into the present moment. Next breath, and we'll come back into the center. Very gently support the ankle and the knee, uncross the legs. We'll bend both knees. Check that the feet are in line with the hips, so the feet are apart, the knees are apart. But we're squeezing the legs together. If you prefer, you can bring a pillow or a block in between the knees to encourage you to squeeze them together. And the fingertips pointing towards the feet. If you've got any wrist discomfort, you can bring the hands out to the side to come into reverse table. So on your next breath, then lifting the hips off of the mat. So we can either pause here, or if it feels comfortable on the neck, we can relax the head. So really listen to your neck and only doing what feels comfortable. On your next breath in, when you're ready, gently lifting your head back up. As you exhale, lower the hips slightly down and then draw the hips towards the heels, lowering the lower back onto the mat, rounding the lower back, stretching now around the shoulders, across the chest and around the arms. If it feels comfortable, lifting the knees towards your forehead, lifting the feet off of the mat. One more slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, lowering the feet down, or gently shuffle the hips back, releasing the hands, and then just stretch the hands, pressing the fingers up and down and curling the wrists. And then we'll circle the hands a few times in each direction. Relaxing the shoulders 1 or 2 times down the back. And then when you're ready, very gently shuffle forward to the top of your mat and come into a closed squat balance. So the spine nice and tall. If it feels comfortable, bring the hands to a prayer in front of the heart. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Just pause for a moment, trying to find something to focus on to help with your balance. And then we'll take a breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands onto the floor. And then very gently step the left leg back, bringing the knee onto the ground to come into dragon. If you need to fold your mat over as an extra support for the knee, you can do. Otherwise, just resting on the mat, we'll bring the blocks on the inside of the leg. Resting the hands on the block, checking that your ankle is below your knee. Spine nice and tall and gently looking forward, just pausing just for 1 or 2 breaths. You can either keep in this position if this feels good for you. If you'd like to work deeper, we'll very gently twist towards the right, pausing for a moment and then bending the back leg. You can either stretch your hand towards the foot. If you can reach the foot, you can gently hold the foot for a stretch along the front of your left leg. Very gently tuck under the toes, release the hand, gently lower the leg down slowly, then come back into the center. We'll slide the blocks out of the way, draw the hips back and come into pigeon. So draw now the right knee by the right wrist, stretching the back leg out behind you. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, gently lower down. So the most important point in this pose is that the kneecap of your straight leg is facing down and that the weight is evenly distributed. You can bring a block underneath the forehead if that helps to rest your head, or you can gently stretch your arms out and lower your head down. So always remember to listen to your own body and do whatever feels comfortable for you. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Now observing what you feel in this pose. You feel a stretch on the outside hip of your right leg or along the front of your left leg, your straight leg. Do you feel anything else? Just one or two more really slow, deep breaths. On your next breath in, we'll slide the hands back underneath you, support the weight of the body, slowly come up. Support the weight again, we'll gently come back onto the knees, and then we'll straighten one leg, stretching out the leg, pushing away the heel, and then the other. And then very gently come back into table. So walking out the legs one more time, and then we'll fold over the mat if you need to for your right knee, and set the left knee forward to come into dragon, bringing the blocks on the inside of the leg, checking the ankle is below the knee. Spine nice and tall, just looking forward, just pausing here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Again, you can pause here if you'd like to work deeper. We'll twist now to the left. If it feels comfortable, we'll bend the back leg. And we'll stretch now the left arm towards the foot. If you can reach, we'll just take hold of the foot and draw it very gently towards you. Only if it feels comfortable, so remember to listen to your body. Very gently release, lowering down, twist back to the front, take a breath in. As you exhale, remove the blocks, lift the hips up and back. Very gently lower the left knee down, drawing it towards the left wrist, sliding the right leg back, pushing away the heel of your left foot. You can take a breath in, and as you exhale, very gently lower down on the forearms if it feels comfortable. So nice slow breathing. You can either pause there or you can lower the down a little bit further, either stretching your arms up overhead or bending the knees and making a pillow for your head, resting the chin or the forehead onto the back of the hands. Take a few slow deep breaths here, just pausing here for a few more breaths. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Now to come out of this posture, on your next breath in, very gently support the weight of the body on the forearms, taking your time, coming up onto your hands, gently lift the hips up and back, and then again we'll walk out the legs, pushing away the heel, one leg, and then the other. And then we'll come back into table, tucking under the toes, gently walk the hands towards the knees, and come up one more time into a knee squat balance, pausing here. Spine nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders down the back, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower your hands onto the mat. Very gently come on to the knees into hero's pose. We'll take hold of the knees and gently lean back. If it feels comfortable, you can lift the knees off of the mat, only if it feels comfortable in the feet and the ankles. Nice slow breathing here. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, support the weight of the body on the hands, very slow and controlled, lowering back down onto the mat. I'll bring the legs to the side, remove the feet, straighten the legs, walk out the legs, walk out the feet, and then we'll shuffle to the edge of the mat and very gently make your way to lay down. We'll draw the knees into the chest, give them a good hug, gently rock from side to side, just massaging your back, one final free massage. And then we'll draw the soles of the feet together. You can either hold the inside of the calves, the inside of the knees, or if you can reach, holding the feet, interlacing the fingers around the feet and rocking from side to side for a moment. Draw the knees back into the chest, give them one hug, and then lowering the legs down. So the feet the distance of the hips, turning out the hands, palms curled up towards the ceiling, gently closing the eyes, relaxing the shoulders down the back. So your time just to completely relax. Let go of any control you may have had over the breath. Just allow it to follow its natural rhythm. Any thoughts that come into your mind, acknowledge them, thank them, and then allow them to pass by. If you have time, I'd recommend listening to a guided meditation practice, and you can find a link below. Otherwise, we'll start to wake up the body, sliding the feet together and stretch the arms up overhead. Have a full body stretch, take a breath in, and as you exhale, we'll draw one knee into the chest, give it a good hug, and then draw the other knee in. Gently rocking from side to side just for a moment, and then rock completely onto your right hand side, pushing into the floor in front of your face. Very slowly we'll come up and find a comfortable sitting position, so you can sit on a block or a pillow or on the ground. Spine nice and tall, encouraging your shoulders down the back. Just taking a moment just to observe how you're feeling. How is your physical body? How is your breath? And how is your mind? Remember, it's always good practice to thank yourself for dedicating time to you and your own health and well-being. Gently blinking open the eyes, or bring the hands to a prayer in front of the heart, and finish with Namaste. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again soon. If you've enjoyed this video, please click like, and please also share it with friends and family. Goodbye.